Good afternoon, ACDA Eastern Region. My name is Amanda Hanzlik. I am the president-elect of the Eastern Region, and I am thrilled and honored to be sharing time this afternoon with Dr. J. Donald Dumpson. Dr. Dumpson, we are so excited to be speaking with you today. Dr. Dumpson has an amazing career, which he's going to fill you all in just a little bit. But we're highlighting Dr. Dumpson today because he will be leading us at the national conference in the Black Diaspora Immersion Choir. And for that, Dr. Dumpson, we are so grateful to you. Thank you so much. Welcome to this episode in our conference conversations. We're so happy to have you. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And I'm just so excited to meet you. This is really the first time that we've met and had a conversation.
A lot about you. You've been tremendous. So thank you for all that you're doing. It's just absolutely.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you so much. I consider it an honor to be sitting and speaking with you. I've known about you for many years from afar. But for those of us in our region and around the country who might not know you or have had exposure to you before, could you please tell us a little bit about you, about yourself, and how you came to be a choral musician?
Well, really, the latter is significant for me. There's something about the school, public schools, the leadership, the teachers, how they poured into me was just second to none. I think back on my kindergarten teacher. She set all of us at the organ. It was a Willister organ with 8 pedals and the buttons, but we all sat at the organ, and for some reason I was able to assimilate and play. And she contacted my parents, and it was Mr. Dumpson, Miss Dumpson, your son has a talent. It goes back to the importance of education. Without that portal, without that beginning, I'm not sure where I would be. Growing up in South Philadelphia, it was a very complicated time when you think about race and relations, and so it was not always easy. But the joy and the power of music to, in my case, I would say to heal, to encourage, to inspire. And that's where it all began, Taggart Elementary School. So to all the elementary school teachers, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
And, and then from there, working in dance with one of my 6th grade teacher, we had a folk dancing. And this is, again, an inner city school, but folk dance, Italian dancing, Irish dancing. And I worked with that teacher, and it was just absolutely encouraging, doing these dances and a tarantella and moving your body and
I love it.
Experiencing this experiencing art.
Yeah.
Beyond my church experience. And I started in the church, think about Black church choirs, the wonderful music that we would sing, but I did not know how to read music.
Okay.
I did not know how to bring all those things together.
So where did you go from there? Where was your education beyond the childhood experiences?
Sure. Well, thinking about, again, back to teachers, Dr. Robert Johnson, my middle school teacher, talked to the high school and said, this young man has talent, and would you take him on? So I auditioned for Overbrook High School, went there, and then matriculated to Temple University. With Harvard with Dean, wonderful professor Nellie Hinderis, a very renowned African-American pianist. And all of this became the foundation for that which would become really my productions, the broadcasts I've worked with. All of that started with these micro experiences with all these fine, fine teachers. I go back again, the power of education to change the trajectory of our lives is absolutely unbelievable.
That's amazing. And you spent many years studying at Temple University.
3 degrees.
3 degrees.
When I turned 50, I hadn't done my doctorate, and a dream deferred was about to happen. And so I talked to one of the professors, and they talked to me about entering into the doctoral program.
Yeah.
And it's a really humbling experience because you're doing all this work in the field, but then you go
Mhm.
back and you have to allow that to fall away to be available for new information. It's not just how you want to do it, but it's what are the larger pieces? How does this all fit together? And so the doctoral program became a really wonderful opportunity for me to look at myself in my relationship with music. You get really comfortable. You do that which you're very comfortable with over and over. And this really challenged me to look at my body of work and to find new and fresh ways to engage with it and to share it with others.
So who is the community that you're currently engaging with? Who are you sharing your work and your artistic life right now?
Thank you for that question. One thing I would say is that the doors shifted. There was a time when the doors were very closed.
Mm.
What I mean by that is opportunities to do more with music was sometimes limited. I would be called on to do the Black work, which is not an apology, but the reality is the entry into standard literature was not always available to me. I was the person who came in with the expert opinion or the expert tools. Uh,
Right.
and I don't apologize for that, but
Sure.
I'm broader than that. And even when preparing for the immersion choir, the same challenge. How do I bring forth this extraordinary music born of the African diaspora? How do I do that? Honor all the people who came before,
Hmm.
hold space for the power of this music and not limit it, not limited to very safe music. A good example would be doing a spiritual and
Hmm.
only approaching it from the concert version. Concert, you're standing tall, you're experiencing the music, but you're thinking very Eurocentric in all that you're bringing to it. And
Right.
I often talk about experiencing the spirituals, for example, from the weeds, experiencing it from the earth, from the ground, and so when you're singing My Lord, What a Morning, and your eyes are gazing through weeds, it's a very, very different lens from that of I'm on the Carnegie stage, I'm at the Academy of Music, I'm with the orchestra. There's just a very, very different lens. And that lens to me creates a much more authentic performance and an outcome is much more authentic and much more vulnerable. You have to be
Hmm.
really vulnerable to receive and to give this powerful music.
Yeah. Well, that kind of takes us into that repertoire that you're referring to for the immersion choir. Can you tell us how how you chose this body of literature, or tell us a little bit about some of the pieces that you're excited to experience with the people at National Conference?
I'm doing an excerpt of Hannibal Okumbe's African Portraits, and it's called Duwabe. And I wanted to start in Africa and create an experience that was Africa to America. And
Mm.
so this piece is in Swahili, and
Okay.
we're going to sing it. And I don't want to give away too much, but we're going to layer it through improvisation, through co-creating
Mm.
spirituals. We'll layer on top of it. And I'm actually very, very excited about it. Just thinking about the drums, thinking about the
Yeah.
body, just the movement that we will hopefully create. And I'm saying hopefully because this is very much so a co-created experience. I will
Mhm.
see what the community of singers are giving, and then I will
Okay.
respond back, and we will shape something that I hope will be very transformative. So African Portraits is one very significant piece.
Hmm.
Then we have a spiritual motherless child. And at
Hmm.
the end of it, it has a very long sustained tone. And for me, that tone represents the Middle Passage. That tone represents all the millions of people who died in the Atlantic Ocean. That tone for me represents the lives that were lost, but also the promise of the lives that are being lived today. I'm a product of that,
Right.
and grateful. So for me, it's an honor to be involved with this particular project. Another piece we will do is a piece called, a gospel piece called I'm So Glad I'm Free. And that piece, I was exposed to it back when I worked with the New Jersey Symphony Orchestra. And we had a community chorus that was created for the orchestra. And we did this piece, and I heard the orchestration, and I was like, it was absolutely unbelievable, very authentic, very rhythmic, and just absolutely an outstanding arrangement by Milton Parrish. And I'm just really excited to share that piece as well. It really is going to be, I would say, eclectic, but it is going to be very much so co-created. And I can't stress that enough, because it's not me coming in and saying, this is what you have to do, this is what it should be. It's really more, let's see what emerge. And through that process, we will create some really powerful moments. I'm really, really excited about it. Another spiritual, fix me, oh, fix me. You know, just absolutely gorgeous spiritual, and we'll do it. I'm thinking about the bass part right now, and just the glory, just the spinning soprano lines, and just all of the layers. And so I will first start by saying I'm honored. I'm really, really honored and grateful to be a part of this, the Immersion Choir.
That's amazing. Well, I know that people from our region, from all over the country, are thrilled and excited to be working with you in this setting. The region is so grateful and lucky to have you as one of our R&R chairs. You know, being in charge of and overseeing the community and professional choirs in our region, as well as music and worship. We are very grateful for you, and I'm so grateful that you're bringing this body of literature forward, and that you're viewing this as a co-creation, and that it's experiential to a really deep level. It's not just, this is not just a session, this is not just a presentation, this is a place for, like you just said, this co-creation, this collaborative spirit, and experiencing this together. But thank you for being the person that has curated this, created it, and you're going to be our leader in this process and in this experience. So thank you for doing this.
I appreciate your kind words. What I would say is that when I think about, we are representing in this music people's lived experiences. You know, when we talk about the Underground Railroad, those are lived experiences. And that's why, what is to sing the spiritual from, again, from the weeds, laying on the earth. Now, I work with choirs, and I have them get on the ground, get on the floor, and to move their bodies and to reach for each other. And there may be limitations because of COVID and concerns. We can't get as close as we might normally get.
Right.
This idea of space and time and what the sound like. For example, when you're humming, what is a moan? What is a groan? What is a cry? What is a whine? The nuances to all of that. Those are the things people explore. And that's why I say co-create, because whatever your lived experience is, you will bring to the music your story.
Yeah. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for our ACDA colleagues and friends to experience this, both as participants in the immersion choir, but then also as observers, you know, in the kind of shared setting. It's gonna be for real, right? And it's needed. We need this. So thank you. We're gonna switch gears just a little bit. And something that I've been asking everyone in these conference conversations is I've been asking everyone to share with us your very first experience or engagement with ACDA, whether it was a conference or your state chapter or whatever it might have been. What was your first exposure to the ACDA?
Well, in my case, and I think it's really important to be honest, in my case, I didn't sense the welcome that I believe people are experiencing today.
Okay.
I did not sense the sense of belonging that I find that people who are coming in today are being received, invited, welcomed in a way, and which says, come with your differences,
Yeah.
come not being cloned, come with, be available to be you,
Yeah.
share you. And that is a really important piece that I find that would have changed my relationship with the organization years ago.
Mm.
That said, I was also blessed with gift of someone like Anthony Leach, Dr. Tony Leach.
Mm-hmm.
He was very involved with ACDA, very committed to the ACDA process. And so I've learned to just trust that process more. And to, again, to be honest, to just be available to be seen for who I was and who I am. And
Right.
today is just a really, really welcoming environment. It's just a really, I find it to be caring. I find it to be a space where I can bring me to the experience. One important portal for me was Penelope Cruz. I mean, she invited me in to be an R&R chair, and that really, really allowed me to go deep with the work that I always do,
Yeah.
in production, working in special events, all as a part of what I also do. And it was really extremely meaningful, just being in those meetings and helping to troubleshoot things, being a
Right.
part of solutions, but celebrating who I am while
Mm-hmm.
speaking in this wonderful, wonderful tapestry of humanity, which is really what we were as we were
Mm.
planning for ACDA, for the regional conference at that time. Yeah, so that was my portal in.
Is there, looking ahead, thank you, by the way, thank you for that answer. That was amazing. I'm feeling very engaged right now in the conversation. It's hard for me to leave that behind. Um, but thank you for that answer. And thank you, Penelope Cruz, for bringing Donald into this mix of people and friendships and professional relationships. It's good, and we are grateful. Um, Looking ahead to the conference, outside of everything that you are doing and that we'll be experiencing with you, is there a concert or a session or something that you personally are really looking forward to?
Yeah, Dr. Ronald Dilworth composed a piece called Weather,
Hmm.
and the poem, his orchestration for the wind, for the instrumentalist, it
Yep.
is just breathtaking. I would hope that everyone would plan to go and see it. It's powerful. The story in the poem, the visual effects, it is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely wonderful. And so I will be there. And it's two performances of it. I might try to get to both if schedules allow. Uh,
Yeah.
but it is absolutely wonderful.
Okay.
That is a piece that I would definitely intend to attend.
You hear that, Eastern Region? Get it on your schedule.
Mhm.
Get Rollo's piece into your schedule in the app, right, Donald? We talked about that earlier. Got to have everybody get into the app. So add that one. I've been looking at the description of that one as well. Is definitely in my schedule. So Eastern Region, show up for that one for sure. All right, we're gonna move on. Okay, here we go. So we have this little like fast kind of lightning round that we've been playing with our conference conversation, guests. And so here we go. Here is your lightning round. What is your favorite piece that you have programmed this year?
Adolphus Hailstork's Shout for Joy. And actually it was the end of 22. But
Okay. All right. Is there a piece that you've programmed recently that you cannot wait to do again?
the Gospel Mass by Robert Ray, giving honor. He died recently, giving honor to him
Right.
as well. But the Gospel Mass is a timeless piece.
Mm, yes. Is there a conductor or a composer that you would love to work with or work with your choir that you have not yet?
Well, that's the trick that I have not yet. Though there's so many that I have not worked with yet. What
That
I
you've
would say,
not worked with?
honestly, I would love to collaborate with Anton Armstrong. Um, I'm so proud of him
Mm,
and Dr. Thomas as well. But
yeah,
Anton, in a really special way, I'm just so very, very proud of him and what he speaks to my heart when he conducts and makes his music.
I love that. Okay, this one might be considered a loaded question. Okay, Donald Dumpson, what is your favorite state in the Eastern region?
Oh, that one is easy. Pennsylvania.
Clearly, you know you have to answer Pennsylvania. But tell us why. Why is Pennsylvania your favorite state?
Well, it's home.
Yeah.
And what I would say is that with the leadership, if I look at ACDA and isolate that, the work that we're trying to do is with an intention to transform people's lives through the choral art. And that's just something that I find to be very important. And what I would say is it actually is life affirming. You know, when we gather communities together and sing,
Hmm.
humanity harmonizes, connects, even harmony through unison. And hear what I just said, the harmony that unfolds in unison singing. There's a lot in that statement.
Hmm. A lot. Yeah. Okay. We've reached the end of our little conversation here. And one more thing. Do you have any advice for people who might be going to this conference? And maybe this is their first national conference, maybe this is their first ACDA conference in general. Do you have any advice to offer to the new people?
Trust the invitation to belong.
Mm.
Lean into it. It's an authentic invitation with sincerity,
Mm.
because I believe it is.
Yeah,
I
me too.
believe it is a warm, intentional invitation
Yeah,
to invite others to belong. And I must tell you, that is important. That's important.
it is important. Oh, I love that answer. Oh, Dr. Donald Dumpson, we are so grateful for you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing with us about what we can expect with your immersion choir. We're so grateful for you. The region is grateful to have you as one of our repertoire and resources chairs. Thank you for your service and thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you in Cincinnati. Thanks.